Well, of course, we've got a huge fire up there. We've got huge winds right now. And it's really important for people to help each other. It's really important for everybody to band together. And don't worry about your personal property. Just get out. Get your loved ones and get out.
Have you ever imagined a star who once graced the prestigious red carpet now struggling desperately in a sea of flames, gasping for one final breath amidst thick, suffocating black smoke and searing heat? Eugene Levy or Mark Hamill might have been fortunate enough to escape the wildfire, leaving behind their opulent mansions reduced to mere ashes. But what about those less fortunate? The frantic footsteps of despair searching for an escape route through the choking darkness. The fragmented cries drowned out by the crackling sound of collapsing trees. Can you hear it? Some tried to make one last call to their loved ones, but all that remained were interrupted, labored breaths fading into silence. Who were they? Once beaming with joy on screen, captivating millions with their charm, these individuals inspired countless hearts. Yet now, cruel fate has cast them into the role of tragic symbols, their stories forever etched in the ashes of sacrifice. Amidst the devastating losses, one name stands out above all: Dallas Curry, the legendary Hollywood actress. This time, however, she is remembered not for her radiant presence on stage, but for the tragic end to her life amidst the ferocious blaze. At 95 years old, Dallas Curry took her last breath in her own home in Altadena, California, as the ruthless Eaton fire consumed not only her life, but also the memories and legacy she had built. On January 7th, the infamous Santa Ana winds, fierce and relentless, swept through Southern California, carrying heat and embers that ignited numerous wildfires across the region. Among them, the Eaton fire emerged as a voracious beast, destroying hundreds of homes, claiming lives, and leaving countless hearts shattered. In her modest home in Altadena, Dallas Curry had spent nearly 3 decades of her later years finding peace with her family after a lifetime of brilliance on screen. Yet that very home became the site where she faced her cruel fate. Her granddaughter Dallas Kelly recounted how Curry refused to leave her house as the fire raged on. Mama D always believed her home was the safest place. She said she had survived so many upheavals in life, and that fire could never take her sanctuary away, Kelly tearfully shared. As the Eaton fire spread, Kelly tried repeatedly to contact her grandmother but received no response. I called her incessantly. I texted, reached out to neighbors, and even prayed she had found refuge somewhere safe, Kelly said. But all efforts were in vain, as the roads leading into Altadena were sealed off by flames and smoke. In desperation, Kelly and her family drove around the area, searching for any trace of her grandmother. We went to evacuation centers, calling her name in every room, but no one had seen her or knew where she was, Kelly recalled. The helplessness grew unbearable as the fire intensified. The Santa Ana winds not only accelerated the blaze, but also pushed temperatures to harrowing extremes, rendering firefighting efforts almost futile. The flames didn't just consume homes, they extinguished hope and drained the resilience of those left behind. On January 12th, after 5 days of searching, firefighters confirmed they had found Dallas Curry's remains among the ruins of her home. Kelly and her family were escorted to the scene to identify her, a heart-wrenching moment that Kelly described as beyond words. The house is nothing but ashes now. Everything is gone, except for her beloved blue Cadillac, Kelly said, her voice breaking. What remains is a haunting sight: charred wood fragments, collapsed walls, and the faint shadow of a life once filled with brilliance. The loss of Dallas Curry symbolizes an irreplaceable void created by the wildfire tragedy. But her story is not merely a personal one. It serves as a grim reminder of humanity's fragility against the overwhelming forces of nature, as well as the gaps in our disaster preparedness and emergency response systems. We begged for help, pleaded for faster action, but nothing came quickly enough to save my grandmother, Kelly said, her voice trembling with both anger and grief. This fire wasn't just a natural disaster, it was the result of our lack of preparedness and our failure to respect nature's power. Though she has passed, Dallas Curry's image lives on in the hearts of those who loved her. Her family is planning a special memorial to honor her life and legacy. Mama D wasn't just a Hollywood star. She was the heart and soul of our family, an inspiration to everyone who knew her, Kelly said. To audiences, Curry was a symbol of Hollywood's golden era, a woman who overcame countless challenges to become a legend. To her family, she was a gentle grandmother who always put family first and guided them through their darkest times. The passing of Dallas Curry, along with the thousands of homes destroyed and lives uprooted, is a stark warning that we cannot continue to live without better preparation for such disasters. Wildfires are not merely natural phenomena. They are also consequences of climate change and neglectful environmental management. When I look at the ashes of my grandmother's house, I don't just see loss. I see a wake-up call that we must do better to protect what we hold dear, Kelly shared. Dallas Curry lived a life full of meaning and inspiration. Her passing is a profound loss, but it also stands as a reminder that we must do everything in our power to prevent such tragedies from happening again. Not only Dallas Curry, but another unfortunate victim, Rory Callum Sykes, represents a poignant story of resilience and triumph over adversity. Though his life ended in an unforeseen tragedy, a man who battled blindness and cerebral palsy, Rory overcame all odds to live a life of inspiration and meaning. However, on a fateful day, he became a casualty of the catastrophic wildfire in the Palisades area of Southern California, an event that left those who cherished him in shock and heartbreak. Rory, despite having endured countless hardships in life, found himself unable to overcome this formidable challenge brought forth by nature. His mother, Shelley Sykes, recalled the final moments when she pleaded with Rory to move to safety. Even as the wildfire approached rapidly, Rory chose to remain in his home. "This is where all our family memories are. I can't leave it behind," Rory told his mother before the fiery onslaught consumed the area. These words, though calm, reflected his steadfastness and deep love for the home and the life he had built. As the fire grew more ferocious, Shelley sought help. She hurriedly placed her two beloved peacocks in her car and rushed to the nearest fire station. However, upon arrival, the firefighters delivered the devastating news. It was too late. The house had been consumed, and Rory was no more. Shelley could not believe her ears. Her son, who had braved so many hardships throughout his life, was now gone forever. When Shelley returned to the site of their home, she could not believe her eyes. Everything had been reduced to ashes. The photos, cherished keepsakes and familiar belongings, all destroyed by the merciless flames. Everything she and Rory had built over the years was now nothing but rubble. Yet, amidst her profound grief, Shelley found the strength to stand tall. "I will rebuild this house. I'll make it better and more beautiful, so that Rory can rest in peace," she declared with determination. Though the loss was irreparable, Shelley did not let hope slip away. She resolved to continue living and to create a special memorial space to honor her son. For her, Rory would always remain alive in her heart, and in the hearts of those who loved him. Every step she took, every action she made, would be to celebrate the life of courage and inspiration Rory had lived. Rory Callum Sykes was a man of extraordinary resilience from a young age. Born with significant challenges, blindness and cerebral palsy, his life was a series of grueling battles requiring exceptional patience and fortitude. Despite triumphing over such daunting ailments, his journey ended tragically in an unforeseen natural disaster. A devastating wildfire in Palisades, Southern California, the home where Rory and his mother had lived for many years, engulfed their 17-acre property, erasing years of memories in its fiery path. Rory's life story is not just a tale of loss but a testament to the indomitable human spirit. Though it concluded abruptly and with great sorrow, Rory's life remains a source of inspiration for all who knew him. He not only fought against illnesses but also against life's countless challenges, leaving behind a legacy of unwavering courage. Beyond his personal battles, Rory was the founder of Happy Charity, an organization he and his mother established to support those less fortunate. Rory viewed each day as an opportunity to bring positivity to the community, using his influence to make meaningful changes in the lives of many. While Rory's life had been marked by immense struggles, his final chapter was written by an uncontrollable force of nature. The Palisades wildfire struck without mercy, turning his cherished home into ruins. The tragedy serves as a stark reminder of life's unpredictability and the fragile balance between human resolve and nature's might. Luckier than others, there are stars who, despite facing the brink of life and death, ultimately manage to overcome their trials. January 7th was a day Eugene Levy, the renowned star of the hit series Schitt's Creek, would never forget. A raging wildfire erupted in Pacific Palisades, transforming one of Los Angeles' most prestigious neighborhoods into a desolate wasteland. Levy's $3.9 million home was completely consumed by the flames, but thankfully, he and his family narrowly escaped unharmed. Levy recounted that on that fateful morning, he woke up to soft sunlight filtering through the curtains, entirely unaware that just hours later, his life would change forever. I still remember the aroma of morning coffee and the chirping birds in the yard. No one could have imagined that such a devastating disaster would strike so suddenly, Levy shared with the Los Angeles Times. News of the wildfire spread rapidly. Strong Santa Ana winds caused the flames to spread uncontrollably. Levy vividly recalled the moment he received a frantic call from a neighbor. He was shouting, "We have to leave immediately. The fire is getting close." Levy and his family quickly gathered essential belongings, but as they stepped outside, they were met with a sky choked by dense black smoke. The once tranquil tree-lined streets of Pacific Palisades were now engulfed in chaos. Nothing could have prepared me for that scene. The sky was no longer the sky. It was nothing but smoke and ash. The acrid smell of burning overpowered everything. I couldn't see more than a few meters ahead, Levy described. The family decided to get into their car and leave the area as quickly as possible. However, they soon discovered that the congested roads leading out of the neighborhood posed a far greater challenge than they had anticipated. We were stuck in a gridlock that stretched for kilometers. Everyone was panicking, desperately trying to escape the advancing inferno, Levy recounted. The thick smoke obscured visibility to the point where it was impossible to distinguish main roads from exit routes. Cars crept forward inch by inch, and with every passing second, the outdoor temperature continued to rise. Flames were clearly visible on the hillsides, and every gust of wind seemed to draw the fire closer. We had no idea if we would make it out in time. I looked at my wife and kids. They were trying to remain calm, but their eyes were filled with fear. I felt utterly powerless, Levy said. One of the most harrowing moments, according to Levy, was when he saw a car ahead of them stall in the middle of the jam. The driver, overwhelmed by panic, abandoned the vehicle and fled on foot. At that moment, I thought, what if our car breaks down too? We'd have no chance at all, Levy recalled. The flames kept advancing. Trees along the roadside ignited, and the intense heat caused the windshield of Levy's car to feel as though it might crack. He feared the worst. I thought this was the end. I had even prepared myself mentally for that possibility. But just as despair threatened to take hold, a glimmer of hope appeared. Police and fire crews arrived on the scene, guiding vehicles to an emergency escape route. Levy expressed his profound relief. I have never felt more grateful than when I saw the flashing lights of the fire engines. When we finally turned onto the escape route, I let out a deep sigh of relief. For the first time in hours, I felt there was a real chance for my family and me to survive, Levy said emotionally. After escaping the danger zone, Levy and his family were evacuated to a temporary shelter. It was there that he received the heartbreaking news. Their home had been completely destroyed. We lost everything, every memory, every heirloom, all of it gone, Levy shared in anguish. Despite the immense loss, Levy felt grateful that his family was safe. A house can be rebuilt, but life is the most precious thing. I thank heaven that we made it out alive, he said. Currently, Levy and his family are staying with friends while they plan to rebuild. He has also become actively involved in community relief efforts, providing financial support and resources to families who were less fortunate. So many people lost loved ones in this fire. I cannot imagine their pain. We need to support each other to get through this difficult time, Levy urged. Eugene Levy believes this experience serves as a vital reminder of life's fragility. We often think that disasters only happen to others. But this tragedy has shown me that no one is immune to nature's power, he reflected. Mark Hamill, the legendary star of the Star Wars saga, recently endured a terrifying ordeal when he had to evacuate his Malibu home as relentless wildfires swept across Los Angeles. Sharing his heartfelt reflections on Instagram, he wrote, "Small fires flared up on both sides of the road as we neared the highway. This is the most horrifying wildfire I've witnessed since 1993. That evening Mark was at home with his family when an emergency alert from authorities ordered immediate evacuation. In mere minutes, he, his wife, children, and their beloved pets hastily gathered their essentials. We only had time to take the most important things, documents, a few cherished photos, and our dog," he recounted. Driving away from Malibu, Mark navigated through dense smoke and looming flames just meters away. He described it as feeling like a scene from an apocalyptic movie, but with no script or special effects to provide safety. The smell of smoke, the crackling sound of fire, and the crimson glow around us. It was all too real. I couldn't believe we were living this moment, Hamill said. The Pacific Coast Highway, typically picturesque with its stunning coastal views, had transformed into a nightmare. Fierce winds scattered embers, sparking smaller fires along the way. There were moments when I had to stop and assess whether the road ahead was safe to cross, Mark recalled. His wife Marilu clutched their dog tightly in the passenger seat, constantly refreshing her phone for updates from firefighters. It felt like time slowed down. Every second brought a new fear that we might not make it out in time, she shared. For Mark, this fire was a grim reminder of a similar disaster in 1993, when Malibu was also engulfed in flames. Back then I was younger, with no family to worry about. But this time, the responsibility of protecting my loved ones made it far more overwhelming, he admitted. Having called Malibu home for many years, a serene retreat from Hollywood's chaos, Mark was devastated to see his sanctuary threatened. The places I cherished, the roads I loved driving through, are now scared. I can't fathom how long it will take for everything to recover, he said with a heavy heart. Despite the losses, Mark found solace in the bravery of firefighters and first responders. They are the true heroes. While we fled the fire, they charged into it, determined to save what they could, he said with gratitude. Once in a safe location, Hamill used social media to urge support for relief organizations and families impacted by the fire. I know how fortunate I am to be here, able to tell this story. But not everyone is as lucky. Let's help them, he appealed. Mark's experience also serves as a sobering reminder of the growing dangers posed by climate change. I'm no scientist, but I can see that these wildfires are happening more frequently. We need to act before it's too late, he emphasized. The escape from the flames will remain etched in Mark Hamill's memory, not just as a harrowing challenge he overcame, but as a poignant lesson on humanity's fragility against nature. I don't know what the future holds, but I believe we can face it together. Let's turn these tragedies into a call to protect the world we love, he concluded. Amid the most devastating wildfires in Los Angeles history, Steve Guttenberg, star of the hit Police Academy series, emerged as a hero in the chaos, not only fighting to escape danger, but also risking his safety to assist others in their time of need. That fateful night, Steve received an urgent alert. An uncontrollable wildfire was rapidly approaching his neighborhood on Palisades Drive, a major evacuation route linking Pacific Palisades to safety. Thousands of residents poured onto the road, causing severe gridlock. Quickly packing his essentials, Steve left his home. But as he witnessed the mounting turmoil on the road, he realized this wasn't just about his own survival. "I had friends stuck on Palisades Drive. They couldn't move because the road was completely jammed," Steve shared during a live broadcast on social media. Rather than focusing solely on his escape, Steve took action. He urged people to leave their car keys in their vehicles if they abandoned them. "If you must leave your car, leave the keys behind. People like me can move your car to clear the way for fire trucks. This is crucial," he implored with unwavering determination. Steve then walked along Palisades Drive, heading into smoke-filled areas illuminated by an ominous red glow, working to clear abandoned cars from the road. "There were moments when I couldn't see anything because the smoke was so thick, but I knew I had to keep going. Every minute could save lives," he recounted. In those perilous moments, Steve became more than a survivor. He was a guide, helping others find their way to safety. "Forget about personal belongings. Save yourselves and help those around you," he urged. Steve's actions inspired others to follow suit, creating a ripple effect of mutual aid among the community. People came together, setting aside their fears to assist in clearing evacuation routes. The sight of strangers uniting amid the crisis left an indelible impression. Once out of harm's way, Steve continued his efforts, using his platform to rally support for relief initiatives. "Think of each other, help one another get through this. This isn't just a wildfire, it's a reminder of the power of human connection," he emphasized. He also expressed profound admiration and gratitude for the firefighters battling the inferno. "They are the real heroes. Without them, we wouldn't have made it out," Steve said. Steve Guttenberg's story is not merely one of dramatic escape, but also a testament to courage and compassion in the face of adversity. While many prioritize their own safety, Steve confronted the flames to save others. The memory of that night will remain vivid for Steve and those who witnessed his bravery. "Let's not allow this tragedy to be just a painful memory. Let's use it as motivation to build a better future together," he urged. His actions are a powerful reminder of the importance of solidarity during the darkest times. In the fiery chaos of Pacific Palisades, Steve Guttenberg became a beacon of hope and humanity. James Woods, an Oscar-nominated actor, faced one of the most perilous moments of his life when a wildfire spread to his neighborhood. He experienced firsthand the harsh realities of survival as he and his family were forced to evacuate in the dead of night. Before the wildfire struck, James Woods had meticulously prepared to safeguard his home against the threat of fire. On his X account he shared, "We cleared all the brush and constructed escape routes on the hillside. A remote-controlled sprinkler system was also installed. I hope these efforts will prove helpful." However, despite adhering strictly to local fire safety regulations, the wildfire defied all precautions. The flames advanced menacingly, consuming everything in their path. Woods and his family had no choice but to leave their home immediately. James Woods detailed the harrowing evacuation journey on his personal account. In the darkness, thick black smoke enveloped the area, making driving extremely hazardous. Flames danced along the roadside, closing in as if intent on cutting off every escape route. "We didn't have much time. I could see the massive flames and it felt as if they were chasing our car," Woods recounted. On the highway leading out of the danger zone, he encountered long traffic jams as thousands of others attempted to flee. James not only worried for his own safety but also kept his social media followers updated on the situation, sharing images of encroaching flames and urging people to evacuate immediately. "Don't take any risks by staying. Leave while you still can," he wrote. Amid the danger, Woods didn't shy away from expressing his views on politics and environmental issues. When criticized for his skepticism about climate change, he firmly responded, blaming local authorities for poor management. "This isn't a climate issue, it's a management issue," he stated. Additionally, Woods revealed that a major insurance company had canceled all policies in his area just months before the fire. "We did everything to protect our home, but the larger system abandoned us in our most critical hour," he added with deep bitterness. As the fire spread at a terrifying pace, fueled by winds reaching up to 100 miles per hour, Woods and his family still escaped the danger zone. Yet, he couldn't shake off the fear for neighbors who were still trapped. "I know many families haven't managed to leave yet. Every minute spent there is a gamble with their lives," Woods shared. After escaping the disaster, James Woods continued to use his platform to warn others about the severity of California's wildfires. However, he also didn't hesitate to voice concerns about what he believed to be the root causes of the catastrophe. "We need to change how we manage forests and water resources. This isn't the first time, and it certainly won't be the last," he asserted. Although his remarks sparked debates, it's undeniable that James Woods faced the disaster with determination and remarkable adaptability. From thorough preparation and timely updates to leading his family out of danger, he exemplified resilience in the face of adversity. As the flames subsided, the lessons from that harrowing night would continue to haunt Woods and all who witnessed the event. It was more than a wildfire. It was a sobering reminder of humanity's fragility in the face of nature, and the urgent need for change before it's too late. Amid the pain and loss endured by many residents, and the emotional accounts shared by celebrities, another narrative drew attention and even sparked outrage. Stars like Kim Kardashian, Sylvester Stallone, and Kevin Hart faced criticism for wasting water resources, while others battled the devastating wildfire. Their stories highlighted societal inequities and offered lessons on resilience and accountability in times of crisis. Kim Kardashian, renowned for her lavish lifestyle and immense wealth, came under fire from the public after reports surfaced about her excessive water usage. While California faced a severe water shortage due to prolonged droughts, the star reportedly consumed over 232,000 gallons of water, above the permitted limit. Living in a $60 million mansion in the Oaks, an exclusive gated community near wildfire hotspots, Kardashian's water use violated California's stringent conservation regulations. Despite installing water-saving devices since then, the public continued to criticize her for wasting a precious resource, while many struggled with natural disasters. Her actions served as a stark reminder of the inequities ordinary citizens face. While stars like Kardashian could easily pay fines due to their financial means, working-class residents had no such luxury. Her behavior underscored the injustice of how the wealthy could squander resources with minimal repercussions. Another prominent figure, Sylvester Stallone, also faced backlash for flouting water conservation rules. Like Kardashian, Stallone resided in a luxurious California neighborhood and used water excessively, incurring significant fines. While other residents were restricted from watering their plants, Stallone's actions reflected a lack of control and disregard for regulations. However, Stallone's story took a different turn when he faced the wildfire threat directly. Like many others, Stallone found himself in grave danger, as his home risked being engulfed within hours. Despite previous criticism for wasting water, he now grappled with concerns for his safety and property amidst the raging inferno. In a matter of moments, stars like Stallone were rendered powerless, unable to control the unfolding chaos. Regardless of wealth or influence, they were as vulnerable as anyone else in the face of nature's fury. Alongside millions of other residents, they endured the terror of a disaster they couldn't escape. Kevin Hart, a celebrated comedian and Hollywood success, also faced accusations of water wastage amid California's drought crisis. Despite his affluent and comfortable life, Hart's actions drew criticism for his perceived insensitivity toward less fortunate residents struggling with water shortages. Unlike others, Hart quickly recognized the importance of resource conservation and implemented measures to curb waste. He installed water-saving systems and participated in campaigns promoting the protection of natural resources. While his efforts were but a small contribution, they reflected his awareness and commitment to the community. Though Hart wasn't directly affected by the wildfire, he bore a heavy emotional burden witnessing the devastation faced by Californians. His experience wasn't marked by the loss of property or loved ones, but by the helplessness of watching his community grapple with an overwhelming catastrophe. Unable to save everyone, Hart used his influence to rally support and aid for those in need. When the public condemned celebrities like Kim Kardashian, Sylvester Stallone, and Kevin Hart for wasting resources amidst the wildfire crisis, their criticism extended beyond individual actions to expose a broader societal injustice. Wealthy individuals who can afford private firefighting services or pay fines for violating regulations often face fewer direct consequences from natural disasters. Meanwhile, ordinary citizens, despite strictly adhering to water conservation rules, lack the means to safeguard their property from the wrath of nature. As wildfires ravage communities, the ability to hire private firefighting services to protect one's assets becomes a glaring inequity. Celebrities like Stallone, Kardashian, and Hart can afford such services, while others are left to struggle with evacuation or face the devastating loss of a lifetime's worth of possessions. This disparity underscores the deep divide between the wealthy and the less fortunate. The affluent have access to superior measures to shield their assets, while the underprivileged, no matter how diligent in following regulations and conserving resources, are left vulnerable and unprepared to protect themselves and their families in the face of catastrophe. In the aftermath of the merciless infernos, what remains are ruins and scars too profound to heal. Lavish mansions and prized possessions were reduced to ashes in the blink of an eye. But the true anguish lies not merely in the loss of material things, it is the helplessness, the realization that, despite all their wealth and influence, they were powerless against the fury of nature's tempest. Ultimately, as the flames subside, the survivors of this disaster must confront a new reality, filled with challenges they never imagined facing.